Factsverse presents Riddles that will blow your mind. Number 1. The Married-Unmarried Riddle. This is a riddle that seems simple, but over 80% of people get it wrong. The picture shows a man named John, a woman named Sarah, and a man named Paul. It says that John is married, it doesn't specify whether or not Sarah is, and Paul has never been married. The question asks if there is a married person looking at an unmarried person. The answer would be A. If Sarah's not married, then John would be looking at an unmarried person. If she is married, she would be looking at Paul, who is not married. Most people answer C, not enough information. This is because the riddle doesn't tell you if Sarah is married or not. Number 2. The Picture Riddle. These types of riddles can be really tough. If you look at this photo, you might be able to guess that it says rock and roll music. If you're like most people, you couldn't figure it out. The first picture is a rock, and the second picture is a roll to give you rock and roll. Then you take the M and add it to the U and finish it with sick because the man in the picture is sick, and you get rock and roll music. Number 3. The Math Riddle. This riddle appears to be simple, however, it's more difficult than it might seem. When most people try to solve this riddle in their head, they come up with 5,000, and that's the most common answer. If you break the riddle down slowly, you figure it out on a calculator or do the math on paper, you'll see the answer is actually 4,100. Number 4. The Fish Riddle. There are 10 fish in a tank. 2 drown, 4 swim away, 3 die. How many fish are left? This riddle is more about common sense than math. Fish can't leave the tank on their own, therefore, even if they die or drown, they'll still be in the tank. And since when do fish drown? Also, it's physically impossible for a fish to swim out of the tank. So the answer is all of them are still in the tank. Number 5. The Chess Riddle. 2 men are playing chess. They play 5 games and they each win 3 times. How is this possible? Well, this riddle makes you think outside the box a little. The answer is that they weren't playing against each other. Each man played 5 games with someone else, and they both won 3 times. Number 6. The Brother Riddle. 3 doctors say that Robert was their brother. Robert said that he didn't have any brothers. So who's lying? Well, this is another riddle that makes you think outside the box. Doctors can be women as well, and all the doctors were women, and their brother's name is Robert. Robert didn't have any brothers, but he did have 3 sisters who happened to be all doctors. Number 7. The Murder Riddle. A man is murdered in his office. There were numbers written on his calendar with blood. They were 6, 4, 9, 10, and 11. The suspects are Jerry, Julie, Jason, Nick, and Sophie. Who's the killer? This riddle is very difficult because you don't know what the numbers are code for. If you're willing to spend hours trying to decipher the code, you might come to the conclusion that the killer is Jason, and here's why. The 6 represents the 6th month of the year, June, for J. The 4 represents the 4th month of the year, April, so A. The 9 represents the 9th month of the year, September, S. The 10 represents the 10th month of the year, October, O, and the 11 represents the 11th month of the year, November, which starts with N. So the letters spell out Jason. Number 8. The man and son ages reversed. This riddle can be confusing for some. It states that the age of a father and a son add up to 66. The father's age is the son's age reversed. So how old are they? Well, there are a few answers to this riddle. The father could be 51 and the son could be 15. That would total 66. The father could be 42, the son could be 24. That also equals 66. The father could have started having children later in life and he could be 60 and his son could be 6 or 06. That would also equal 66 when added together. Number 9. The Running Race Riddle. If you're running in a race and you pass the person in second place, what place are you in? Most people think the answer is first place, but it's not. It's actually second place. Just because you passed the second place runner, it doesn't mean you passed the first place runner as well. You were in third place in order to pass the second place runner. Now you are in second place. Number 10. Riddle on the wall. It has holes in the bottom, holes on the left, and holes on the right, yet it still holds water with all its might. What is it? This one is confusing for some, but easy for others. The answer is a sponge. Even though it's covered in holes, it still holds water. Number 11. The moving riddle. What goes through town and over hills but never moves? The riddle's pretty simple. The answer is a road. Roads go everywhere, but they don't move. Number 12. The murdering wife riddle. This is one of the many riddles that'll blow your mind. A woman shoots her husband. She then holds him underwater for 5 minutes. Finally, she hangs him. Well, but 5 minutes later, they both go out and they enjoy a wonderful dinner together. How is that possible? Well, you really got to think out of the box for this one. She is a photographer. She took her husband's photo, or shot him. To process the film, she had to hang that underwater, and then she hung the picture. She's not a murderer. She's just a photographer who loves her husband. Subscribe for more.